Welcome to the Tradies in Business podcast with your hosts Warwick Bidwell and Nicole Cox. Divert your phone and grab a brew as Waz and Nick unpack tips, tales, secrets and stuff-ups from guests both inside and outside your trade, helping educate and inspire you to break the cycle of gut-busting and money stress and create a true trade business.
I've got an interesting story to share.
You've always got interesting stories, Coxie.
Well, that's kind of you. I hope they're interesting to other people as well.
Yeah.
There's always a tale, that's for sure.
What is your interesting story today on the Tradies in Business podcast? Fuck It Friday.
Fuck It Friday. I want to tell you a really interesting story about my 22-year-old daughter.
And you were telling me about this earlier, and this is how we come up with the content for Fuck It Fridays, is we talk about stuff and we go, yeah, fuck it, let's do that on the podcast.
That's how we came up with the name, right?
Yeah, so it's Friday, fuck it, let's talk about your daughter.
Yeah, which is really random, but it's not. It's a very interesting tale.
Go.
Okay, so my daughter's just returned from living overseas, as you know. She's now back living here with us, and she needs to get a haircut. So she spent probably 2 days on and off researching hairdressers.
Wow. That's like
She's
in-depth hairdresser
she's a mother's
research.
daughter to some extent.
Oh, okay, I get it now. Yeah,
right, but it's a big... I'm not sure if you understand this was.
Have you
Maybe
seen
the
my
males
haircut?
have all tuned out now.
I had a shaved head for 10 years, so I'm probably not going to be very sympathetic to the whole hairdresser thing.
It's a big quest for girls, particularly
Okay,
if you're going to
I
make
do
some sort of
understand.
style change.
I've been married for most of my life, so I understand.
There's another subject. That'll make another good fucking Friday. Right, anyway, what I wanted to share was the choice that she made was based around what she found on Instagram, which is her social media of choice. She ended up choosing a hair salon that was almost an hour's drive from where we live, based on what she saw on their Instagram feed.
That's a long way to go to get your ears lowered.
It is a long way to go to get your ears lowered. All
Wow.
because she
All
was
based on
looking-
Instagram.
Yep. Trying to find a message that resonated with her.
Right. See,
So she would have passed at least 100 other hair salons on the way.
that are probably just as good, if not better.
Absolutely. But she either couldn't find them, they didn't speak her language, or they didn't resonate with her on whatever other level she was looking for.
Now, I am a man, at least the last time I checked. So, well, I'm male. It doesn't mean that I'm a man.
True.
Just
There's another
get
one.
that distinction. Yeah, there's a podcast episode we're not going to touch with a barge pole.
So true.
Let's not talk about gender on this
No,
podcast.
I think we do enough of that already.
So I appear to be male, so I really cannot understand. I mean, I can't understand because I wouldn't drive an hour for a haircut. Although, in fairness, I have, since I decided to grow hair back, which fortunately at my age I still have the capability of growing hair. Unfortunately, in places sometimes that I wish it didn't grow. But anyway,
So
TMI. Yeah, I wouldn't drive that far for a haircut, but I have changed barber a few times in the last 2 years because I don't know, I wasn't really happy with partly the outcome, but partly the vibe and the way I was treated as a customer. See, my choice is not always, it's generally around the customer experience because obviously that's what we do here at Tradies in Business. We're all about marketing and sales processes and customer experience and all that. And, you know, you and I have both trained a lot of business owners in those areas. So it tends to be our focus, and it certainly is mine when I'm dealing with a business. I'll choose a business that has a great customer experience over a great price almost every time. But a hairdresser, an hour. What was it on Instagram? I'm curious. What was it on Instagram that she saw or that she was looking for? Like, I wouldn't know how to choose a barber based on their Instagram photos.
No, so I do want to come back to how you choose your next barber to move on to. But for her, I think she was looking for a particular style of not cutting, but coloring. So she was looking for something that I would call a little bit more funky, a little bit younger, a little bit hip on trend. I don't know. What are the words they use now?
None of the things I go
Totes
for
cool.
in my haircut.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So that's what she was looking for, and that's what she found in the branding, in their marketing strategy on Instagram, which is where she hangs out, which is where that's her currency, is playing on Instagram. It's not Snapchat. It's not Facebook. It's Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So she found them there based on a hashtag search.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how to do that.
Mm-hmm. I'll teach you. It's easy. But these are the things that I think many of us aren't thinking about.
Yeah.
How is our target market looking for us?
Yeah, and it is a really interesting point. It's a bit scary, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I see this on our Instagram feed and my Instagram feed when I post certain things, and I throw up hashtags that I think are going to be relevant
Mm-hmm.
based on my very crap knowledge of Instagram hashtag strategies. Gary Vee would be disgusted
Oh, you really would.
at my Instagram
You'd
posts.
be getting the F-bombs left, right and centre
Oh,
here.
yeah. But the people that like my posts and that follow me, I look at their profile. It's like, how the fuck did you find my post out of the bazillions of posts with the hashtag, I don't know, success?
So it can be as simple as searching through that hashtag and flicking through, because, you know, we're quite lateral when we're using the feed, I guess, on Instagram.
And you're currently doing a weird
I'm
action
doing
with your finger.
Like, funny you could see.
A scrolly, swipey thing.
I am doing the scrolly swipey thing. So it can be like sometimes it's timing. So you might pop up for that person immediately.
And they see my beautiful face and
And
go,
they
oh my
see-
gosh, he's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's exactly why they're clicking on your profile.
And I happen to know that's bullshit.
So it's either timing, it's that your picture resonates to whatever it is that they're looking for in
Mhm.
that moment, or your message, or the quote, whatever it is that we've used. It is as simple as that. It's. I think we tend to overcomplicate it.
I have noticed that since I've started shamelessly posting photos of my beautiful wife with me, I'm getting a lot more likes.
I can imagine you would be. But those can, again, may I be a little bit more professional about the
Come on,
result
this is
that you're
fucking
facing
Friday.
there.
There's nothing professional about these episodes.
No, well, that's true too. But I do feel that you're getting a different result because you're attracting different people, family men, perhaps,
Or
perverts.
stalkers.
She's a very beautiful woman.
She's trophy wife, what can I say?
You're a lucky man.
I'm just going to speak to the skepticism before it speaks to me. I saw, just on that, and then we will come back to the topic if we ever actually do that on Fuck It Fridays.
No.
And I think we had a conversation about this. Yes, we did, because I know you told me about his wife. So there's an online business guru, marketing guy, sales coach, whatever the hell. I'll name him because he's super famous and he wouldn't give a shit what I had to say about him. But Frank Kern, he's got some really good stuff, and I actually don't mind his style. He's a bit of a no bullshit kind of American guy. But Kern, Kern, go and have a look at his feed, and you will see lots of photos of him with his family. He's got beautiful daughters, and I think he had a son in there somewhere. I only noticed the girls.
Terrible one.
But that's what our brains do, right? You were
Yeah.
talking before about
Yeah.
filtering stuff and looking for something that you're after. That's exactly what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And Frank is super smart. He's playing to that, right? He posts photos of him with his beautiful family and him with his beautiful wife, who happens to have a fairly decent physique.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, there's the odd swimsuit shot and that sort of stuff. And I'm like, this dude is literally pimping his wife to get likes, clicks, sign-ups, whatever. And I saw some of the comments. He posed this question on one of his Facebook posts recently of something along the lines of, what do you get when you achieve amazing success in your life? And someone commented, because it was a photo of him and his wife in her swimsuit away on holiday, and, you know, it was sort of the back of her. And she's a tidy looking lady. You know,
Yes,
she looks
yes.
after herself.
Yeah.
And the comment was, a trophy wife, clearly. And she's clearly much younger than him. And I shared that with you, and you said, well, actually,
She's quite successful in her own right.
fancy that.
Mm.
A beautiful woman who's actually got a business. And who would have thunk it?
So many of us think that you can't do the two things at once.
But it's that instant stereotyping and judgment that, as humans, I think we almost can't avoid it. We can be aware of it. So to loop that all the way back,
Absolutely.
away from me posting photos of my trophy wife, and who is very intelligent, actually.
She's very intelligent.
She's an honours student. She's a bloomin' occupational therapist and doing post-grad and all sorts of stuff. She's smarter than me.
Yes.
Thank you for that. But when we do scroll Instagram and you're posting pictures of your plumbing van, maybe no one really gives a shit.
It's a plumbing van.
But if you have a picture of someone's backflow drain in their backyard spewing raw sewage into the family pool, that's going to get some attention, right?
It is. You're going to
So-
stop and think, aren't you?
Yeah. So it's like the hairdresser. It's a visual decision, right? Your daughter obviously wanted a particular style. She's seen it on a celeb or a friend or whatever. So she's looking for that. And I guess, you know, for you, listener, because you're the only person I'm talking to right now. Yes, you. No, don't look around. You. Don't post pictures of your ute or your team. I mean, that's okay once in a while.
I think the team's okay occasionally, but do it with a
But-
bit of flair.
But make it different, right? There is so much noise on social media, and you would be forgiven for thinking that social media is really hard to actually get a benefit out of, right?
Yes.
But clearly, a hairdresser that's an hour away from you, who probably charges the earth,
Did.
and there you go, has done that for free. They posted
Absolutely.
a few pics on Instagram.
Absolutely. And she's paid probably,
How
I
much?
wouldn't say
Can you say
double.
how much?
I didn't
Go on,
ask for
say
the
how
final
much.
figure because I think it'd make me sick.
How much do you think it would have been?
250
And this is for a cut and colour.
cut and colour.
Wow, that's
Mhm.
awesome. That's
And-
like 5 years of my haircuts.
I know. It's the difference between men and women, but we won't go through the gender thing now. But is that not the point, right? They've already positioned themselves to be in the kind of business that she wants to have something to do with, and the price didn't matter.
Correct.
Isn't this what we say all the time?
Yep.
And
We,
he's a perfect example of that in action.
we literally had this conversation with our trade desk hot seat
We did too.
guest today, and you're not allowed to know who that is unless you go and join the trade desk.
It's secrets. You've got to be part of the cool group.
But we did. We had a tradie, a successful trade business owner who sat in the trade desk hot seat. If you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, go to tradiesinbusiness.com.au and check out the trade desk. It's our premium area for very smart tradies, not just smart tradies, very smart tradies who want to make a change and are ready for something different, better, new, whatever, bigger. And he talked about this whole idea of price, and he shared the story of a dentist in Brisbane. True story. No bullshit. True story. And I've heard this story before, and in actual fact, I've interviewed the guy who interviewed the dentist. So that almost makes me famous.
Almost. You'll get there.
It's like third hand.
Eventually.
But this dentist literally wrote to his clients and said thanks but no thanks to about half of his dentist clients.
Wow.
And said, I really love you, man, but go and get stuffed. I'm not doing your dentistry anymore. And sacked half of his clients, took down all of his signage, and he's like booked out. What did our hot seat guest say? I think
I
it's
can't
like 12
recall.
months in advance or 2
Yeah,
years
it's a
in
long
advance.
time.
It is insane.
And he's doubled his turnover?
Yep. Cut his marketing, does none of it. He's not as busy, makes a ton more money, enjoys his work, pretty much only does dentistry for people that he likes.
I love that idea.
Perfect business, right?
Mm.
Doing business with people we like
Mm-hmm.
instead of putting up with all the miserable customers.
Mm-hmm.
There was a point to this story. I can't remember what it was. Oh, paying for it, right? Put
Yeah.
up all of his rates as well. Right?
Oh, yeah,
So
like twice, double
Yeah.
the rate.
he charges whatever he likes. And people still are queuing up to go and see this guy. He's a dentist. People hate going to the dentist.
Yes.
Why would you pay more for something you hate?
So true.
It'd be like paying more for car servicing.
Mm.
Although that's less hated than dentistry.
I don't know. That's pretty up there for me.
Most people hate getting their car serviced, right?
Uh-huh.
It's a grudge purchase. Insurance.
Yes.
Yeah. It'd be like paying double for your insurance.
Health
Who likes
insurance.
paying double for health insurance?
Nobody.
Right. So it can happen. And yet as tradespeople, tradies in business, we go, you can't charge more because you won't get any work.
Rubbish.
It is. It's bullshit.
Mm.
Anyway.
I'm going with G-rated and I forgot it's fucking Friday.
That's right.
Mm.
Yeah. It's fucking bullshit. I don't want to say it too loud because then I might offend somebody. Oh no, I'm going to do it anyway.
Do that?
So we did that episode, didn't we?
We did.
Anyway, what did you want to say about Instagram?
So I guess it was just my point that we need to. I guess I'm going to offer a challenge. Here we are. We'll do something new. Look out.
Okay.
I'm going to challenge you, the listener, just you, the one person listening to me right now. I challenge you to have a look at your marketing. I challenge you to see whether that collates to who your target market is and whether you're in the right place, you're sending the right message, you're telling them the right things.
Are we doing that?
No, they're doing that. Just that one listener.
Are we doing that with our business?
Yes, we're all over it.
We're just crushing it, aren't we?
Sometimes. I want to give another, not a case study, but another shout out to a guy in real estate in Brisbane, Dan Lee Property. Go and check him out. He is just doing it so different, right? Real estate is one of those really competitive markets, and I don't know the stats about this guy. I'll do my very best to get him on the podcast because he's just fantastic. He has this incredible portfolio. He's working in exclusive suburbs in Brisbane, and he brings comedy to what he does. So if you go to any of his social feeds, you'll find that he's always doing these ridiculously funny elastic plastic home tours on his videos. He's falling over, he's skateboarding down the street and falls into the tree and breaks his arm, or they're just so funny you can't but stop and watch them. Now, I'm not in the market to buy a property where he sells them.
But you know him by name.
I know him by name. He is on every single part of my feed because I like to keep an eye on what he's doing because he's just that clever. And I know, based on what we know, that if ever I'm in the market for a house in that area, he's the one I'm going to contact.
He's already dropped a pixel on you.
Absolutely. Now there'll be two.
Yeah.
They'll be everywhere.
Yep.
But it's finding a way to relate that stands out from the crowd. And that's what he's doing. He's giving the same boring sales speech as everybody else, but he's delivering it in a way that engages you as the watcher. Plus, he's creating his own brand, which is really, really clever.
And he's going to get an invite to be on Australia's best podcast for tradies in business.
Absolutely he is.
I think we're the only one, aren't we?
Well, I believe
in
we
my
are.
mind.
We're the only one that should anyone listen to.
G'day to Matt from the other one. Anyway, if you're listening, mate.
Hi,
or
Matt.
skiing in Japan or something.
Yes.
Yeah, or snowboarding. No, snowboarding
Skiing.
for all the cool people.
I thought it was skiing.
I think skiing's for old guys.
I'm not old. I like skiing.
You're over 40.
You're older than me.
That makes me the senior partner, which means I can wrap up this podcast and
Love it.
that's why I married a younger woman. So I can always pull rank.
That's terrible.
It doesn't work.
Poor old
She's
Amy
taller than me.
having a hard time in this episode.
Fortunately, she stopped listening to my podcast after we got married because I think she figured there was no point learning any more about me because
Wow.
it only got scarier.
Maybe these are the bits she doesn't want to learn.
I don't think there'd be any of those.
Funny you say that. The builder doesn't listen to our podcast either. Because he likes to listen to the podcast while he's falling asleep at night, and I won't listen to my own voice. That's like nightmare stuff to me.
I had a client tell me that once, that she actually used to play the podcast to get her kid to go to sleep in the car.
That's a backhanded compliment.
Thanks, Bryony, if you're listening. I think we're still friends, Bryony and her partner. But yeah, it was like, I wasn't sure what to do with that information. I mean, I felt good that I could help her get one of her screaming kids to sleep. It was like, okay, so the sound of my voice puts your kid to sleep when they're screaming in the car.
And I don't want to listen to my own, so I'm sorry, listeners. I don't know why you're here,
We
really.
salute you for listening to us
you.
based on that. If you're awake and you're not vomiting yet, then well done. Well done.
All right, I'm going to loop back to where we started. How do you choose
Haircut.
a new barber?
I find it really difficult because barbers are shit at marketing.
Actually, I know a really good one. I'm going to put you in touch with him.
Do you know, so far, the way I choose my barber is I go and risk a haircut, see how it turns out, and decide whether I go back again. That's a pretty shit strategy, isn't it?
It's a terrible strategy. Why do you have to do it that way?
Because they don't have pictures of what they do.
Okay, you're not looking in the right spots.
Well, they're not on Instagram or Facebook or
they are.
website.
So you need,
Not the barbers where I live.
right.
Okay, come on. I live in a big farming town.
What hashtag? Well, yeah, okay, that's a fair point. But
Hashtag Angus Bull. Like that'd be the most popular hashtag where I live.
hashtag branding.
A Cobra. I've got an Akubra.
The builder's got an Akubra.
And bloody good hats.
Where's to work?
I love wearing my
It
Akubra.
doesn't fly off, and it
Covers up
probably
your shit haircut.
could walk on its own if you put it down on the ground.
No, I will tell you, I chose my barber because there's a guy locally that is a very good Instagram marketer,
Mm-hmm.
and he's very prominent locally
Mm-hmm.
with his marketing. Has a well-known brand, and he introduced barber services to his salon. So he does massage and all that sort of stuff. And his daughter actually used to work for one of the other barbers in town,
Wow.
and she's now doing men's cuts and colours and all that sort of stuff. So I can go get my greys touched up. And
Whoa, do men get colours?
apparently so. Yeah, I've
Nothing
been
like those news-
upsold a couple times.
Really?
to the old. Would you like us to do something about the greys there, Mr.
There's a
Bidwell?
lot
It's
of
like,
greys. That's going to take a lot
Go
of work.
fuck yourself.
Why
That
do you
wasn't to you, actually. That was.
I understand.
It's like I'll just go back to the head shave if we're going to do something about the greys.
What's wrong with going grey?
Just wax my scalp. That'd fix it.
Oh, that would be really comfortable.
How painful would that be?
I don't even want to think.
Anyway, I'm embracing my grey. It makes me look very smart.
I like grey. I think grey. Well, I have to say that because I've got an awful lot of it myself. I do cover mine though. Anyway, this is so off track. We do this all the time.
Well, it is a fucking Friday.
It is. So you're telling me then loosely it's still based on what you've seen on social media, or were you using his other services already?
No, it was from what I saw on social media, and he has a good reputation, and I like his marketing.
Mm-hmm. There you are.
So, whereas the other barbers, zero.
Interesting.
Maybe they've got a feed. I don't know. But see, I wouldn't go... It was just an incidental thing. I was starting to think, I don't know if I'm really happy with this barber. I'd been going there for a while, probably 6 or 9 months. And initially it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then new staff, and I had a couple of people who didn't give a shit and weren't able to communicate with human beings, apparently. At least not ones of my age. So I was starting to think, like, I don't know. It's costing me, $36 or $38, and I don't have a lot of hair for 10 minutes in the bloody chair, and I wasn't happy with it. I'll just go back to shaving my head. And then I saw this guy's marketing pop up. It's like, we've got barber services. Like, hey. But it was still the whole, I'll go give it a go.
Right.
I'll go and try it out.
Right.
There's still that I'll try it out thing.
I think with this particular service, it is very much that way. But then you and I both shop in a similar way in that we're very customer experience driven.
Yep.
So if I get there and the branding I've seen doesn't match what I arrived for, I don't go back.
And this guy's smart. Online booking.
Mm-hmm.
I can click to book.
Mm-hmm.
Pick my own time. I turn up. I sit in the chair at the allotted time. I get my hair cut. It's a nice experience. She's friendly. There's a hot towel. I get my neck shaved. Some mild upsells to, hair product for old men with grey hair and that sort of stuff. And I leave.
And that's the way it should
And
be.
it's good. Yeah.
And I think that's, let's segue into the next point. Customer experience is the second most thing. So before they come to you, they need to see you. So you need to be marketing somehow, wherever they are, whether it be on social media, whether you have your website, whether it's in the school newsletter. I don't know what that is for your business, but first of all, you need to be seen. And then when your customer gets in contact with you, the experience starts from the very first contact. So that first contact can be the website, can be the social media, but then it's the booking procedure. It's the sitting in the chair. What does that feel like? How long did I have to wait? Do I feel valuable?
Excuse me. I just ate my lunch, listeners. Sorry about that. You said, Coxie, that it's from that very first contact with you, and everyone immediately thinks, or most people immediately think of the phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe the email they send in and your reply being the first contact. But the first contact is often your website.
That's right.
Or your Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
So what impression does that give people?
And is it consistent with your usual line?
If you've got a clunky old website that you haven't updated for 2 years, I got called out on the podcast about that recently. But that's people's first contact with you.
That's right.
The second contact is if you're lucky enough for them to pick up the phone and ring you.
Mm-hmm. You need to compel them to do so.
And maybe they didn't because your website was shit.
That's right.
Or your Instagram feed is, full of pictures of your van.
Or there's some interesting plumbing feeds.
Oh,
None of us want to see raw sewage. We really don't.
but it's attention getting.
No, it's not.
I saw, oh my
flicked.
gosh, it's actually, g'day to, I can't remember your name, I'm sorry,
Oh, it's terrible.
pest controller. No, but I saw I'll have to go find it. He's a Tradies in Business group member. And I saw it pop up in my feed because I've liked it as many
Right.
pages as I can. It was on my personal feed on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a German cockroach infestation.
Ugh.
And the image, the video, it was worse because it was a video.
Mm.
And it was inside this cupboard where the bin had been. Oh my gosh, there was millions of these things.
Yuck.
It was very short video, it was like 4 seconds. But you know what? I went back and scrolled over it because it was like, is that what I just saw? Did I just see a swarm of cockroaches inside someone's kitchen cupboard? And that's literally what it was. And he just treated it.
Right. So the message here is about the treating. It's not about the cockroaches in the first place. It's about the solution.
But the cockroaches got my attention.
Mm.
So well that I can't remember his business name. Sorry.
Yeah, but poo is not going to get my attention.
Not if you're not in the market for plumbing services, but if your toilet's backed up and, sewage is flowing out into your house, you might remember the picture you saw at one time.
Do you think?
I don't know. Well, what will get your attention for a plumber? Probably not their crack.
Beautiful plumbing. Over
Yeah.
in Western Australia, what he does is amazing.
I've messaged him
Mm.
and he has not replied to me.
Well, that's rude. We need to rectify that.
I think so. So if anybody listening knows, I should remember his name too.
That's probably why he hasn't answered you.
Beautiful plumbing in Western Australia.
He does a great job of his marketing.
Yeah.
And most of it isn't about his business. It's about him.
No, it's funny.
Yeah, he tells the worst, best dad jokes, and he shares number plates that he finds that are really funny. They make me laugh, and he just sticks in my mind. He's one of those marketers that do it, I guess, he's relatable. He's telling his own story. He's making a bit of fun, because plumbing's probably not very fun.
Not for plumbers.
Not for anyone.
Not when you got to pay for it.
No.
Yeah, so if you know beautiful plumbing in the West, we'd love to talk to what's his face.
The gentleman.
I sent him a message.
We'll send another one.
I'm going to his about page. Ready?
All right.
About us. We'll see how good beautiful plumbing's.
He's got a gorgeous
about page
kid.
is.
The kid.
Ben, that's it.
Ben. Hi,
G'day,
Ben.
Ben. Ben from Beautiful Plumbing.
Thanks for listening. We
Well-
like what you do.
We want you on the show, mate.
We do.
If you're out there, or if anybody knows Ben from Beautiful Plumbing,
Mm.
he's got a beautiful photo of himself on his website here. Very impressive. He's got very good dad jokes.
He does.
We'd like to interview him.
So, but
Yeah.
please take a couple of these case studies. So we've got Ben from Beautiful Plumbing, Dan from Dan Lee Property. I think you might also find him on Plum Properties page. And who was the first oh, well, you can't find the hairdresser. I'm not going to plug them.
Wasn't Nick from Tradies in Business?
Was Nick from Tradies in Business. And I want to know if you can see the consistency between the website and the social media. I'm really intrigued to know.
So, I think that's it for Fuck It Friday, isn't it?
Yep, you've got a challenge. You've got some homework. I want to know that you've gone and had a look at your marketing strategy. Does it fit the brief? Are you offering a consistent message?
Very serious for a Fuck It Friday.
I know, but we never give homework.
It's all, yeah, okay.
And it's before the weekend, so
These
got a
aren't
bit
the
of
trade desk
time.
members. We don't have to give homework.
No, but everybody deserves a bit of homework sometimes.
Mm.
It's an assignment.
Well, if you'd like more homework, and if you'd like someone to keep you accountable to getting your homework done, go and join the trade desk.
Yeah, it's like going to school. We're going to be there with big rulers.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's queuing up to sign up for that one.
Oh, we lost him on homework.
Yay, I get to go back to school. But seriously, if you could use a bit of accountability, not just from us, but from your peers, some support tools, a bit of ongoing training. So there's monthly training, there's live Q&As with us too. I mean, what could be better
I know, right?
than a live Q&A with me and Coxie?
Woohoo.
Answering the questions you've got in your business, like, how do I do better Instagram marketing?
We can answer that.
That was my voice, not yours.
Yeah, that's Warwick's question because he needs help.
Just post more photos of my wife.
Yes, I think that'll work for you very successfully.
Hey, honey, if you're listening, I really do love you.
Sorry, Ames.
Anyway, yeah, go check out the Trade Desk. You can actually check it out for free because you can go to the website tradiesinbusiness.com.au and go to the Trade Desk page. It's right in your face. You can't miss it. And have a look at it. We have done a cool little video, which is ridiculous. And then there's some text underneath that, which is probably more worth your time to read to tell you what's actually in the Trade Desk. But we're keen to see you in there. We've got new members signing up, sharing their stuff. We had a hot seat today that we're going to be releasing in there. So we put those in there, premium podcast content. So at the end of some of our podcasts, we ask our guests to stick around and share some deep dive tips on how to improve your trade business. So we're recording those and making those available to our Trade Desk members as well for a carton of beer a month.
I know. Or an icebreaker day.
Yep. And at the moment, I think we've got about 72 cartons of beer in the garage that people keep sending us. Because send money, not beer. Okay?
Oh, I'm happy with either.
But it's equivalent to a carton of beer a month.
It is.
Anyway, I'm going to stop talking shit.
Thanks for joining us.
You've been listening to the Tradies in Business podcast with Warwick Bidwell and Nicole Cox. Find out more about today's guest, tools for your trade business, and other cool stuff at tradiesinbusiness.com.au.